right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the TR Schools TV Game of the Week, presented by the TRA. I'm Casey Kinnerkowski with Joey Del Deo and Eddie Wolf. Tonight we're coming to you from the Pine Belt Arena, and our matchup features the 12-1 Townsville North Mariners taking on the 4-6 Townsville South Indians. Now, Joey, Coach Rory Caswell's squad is currently number 4 at the Shore. How do they avoid a slip-up tonight?
Well, Casey, one of their keys for tonight is to score early and often. North likes to play up-tempo basketball, and it works. Over their current 7-game win streak, they've scored 10-plus points in 25 of 28 total quarters. They also need to attack the offensive glass. The Mariners average over 10 offensive rebounds per game. If they can get multiple looks at the basket, they'll look for easy putbacks or open threes. And tonight, their X factor is number 11, Jaden Roden. He's averaging 13.5 points per game and 8.8 rebounds per game. He was also named their MVP of North's big win over CBA at the 2017 Boardwalk Hoop Group Showcase. So look for him to have a huge night tonight for Caswell's squad.
Absolutely. And Eddie, how about Townsville South? How do they pull the upset?
And as for South, their number one key is going to have to be to create turnovers on defense. The Indians must play sound team defense. That means ferocious on-ball pressure, sharp rotations on the backside, and hands up in the passing lanes. If they do all three, they'll create turnovers that lead to quick buckets.
Very good. Of course, Townsville North and Townsville South, we're so used to seeing them in the Civil War on the gridiron. Tonight we're going to get the Civil War on the hardwood.
And a player to look out for South is Matt Schiffer, the real X Factor. He's number 14, and he's a smart and experienced player for South. He hit the game-winning shot against East in December for South. So if South, they're going to want to win this game, they're going to have to go for Matt Schiffer.
Absolutely.
Another thing to look forward to in this game is the fact that in the last 10 meetings, the majority of the ones have been won by North. North has won the last 6 in a row against South here on the hardwood. So, like you said, Casey, it's going to be an excellent Civil War matchup out here.
That's a streak that South is going to want to beat today.
Yep, and we're going to have Travis Allen, number 33, Matt Fitzpatrick, number 23, winning the tip there for Townsville South, and we'll start with the basketball. Wilson over to Regan, over to Porter, number 10. South trying to work a motion offense. Good backdoor cut by Wilson, can't finish. But there to clean it up on the backside, Jake Regan for the first back bucket of the game. Long pass over to Neister. Hold up by Petrick, and he hits the jumper to tie it up at 2. So both teams scoring on their opening possession. Good sign for the offenses tonight.
Both teams also creating a ton of movement, creating multiple passes for their team, definitely moving the ball around, and that's going to benefit you. Holds the clock and also creates mismatches against the defense.
Should mention our officials tonight are Bill Hobson and Mike Moran. As we see North now in a 2-3 zone here at the 6:45 mark here in the first quarter. That one's stolen away there. Trying to finish off the glass, can't do it. Shot no good, and that'll be a foul on Townsville North.
South already playing real aggressive defense, and so far it's working out. So they're going to have to keep this up.
Yeah, tenacious defense we were talking about. They're only giving up here 42 points per game, one of the lowest at the Shore. And that certainly helps them stay in a lot of these games. Now Regan will set it up from the top. It'll be guarded by Neister. Hands it off to Wilson. Dribbling the ball around the outside. Gets trapped, flips it over to Regan. Pretty good defense here by Townsville North on this possession. Really making South work. There's a three-pointer. That's long by Lofton. Carrington looking to set something up. He's the assist leader. Drops it into Roden. Gets ball knocked away by Regan, but the possession will stay with Townsend North.
You guys need to look right now. We're almost halfway through the first quarter, and it's only 2-2. You have to wonder if both defenses are playing exceptionally well, or if those offenses are, kind of off their game. Both offenses so far, we're seeing a lot of passing, like I said, from both sides. And right there, a great job to get the offensive rebound for Petra.
Up top, inside to Holland, who finishes off at the bucket. And North surges ahead 4-2. There's a 6'5" junior there. Really the only true forward on the floor right now for Townsend North. Good pressure, tried to throw the ball off him, stolen away. Ball stays in. And finally they're Lofton tracking it down.
You mentioned the height, Casey. North, they have the real advantage, towering over almost every single player. The only exception would be Matt Fitzpatrick, the forward, number 23.
Yeah, on average, Eddie, Townsend North has a 6'3" team, as opposed to the Indians averaging at about 6'1". So it's not much of an advantage, but still, it's a game of inches in this sport.
Backdoor cut there by Regan, goes up. Hard contact, no call. Rebound to Neister, starting the fast break. Flips it to Carrington, corner three coming from Petrick. Off rebound to Regan. And Eddie, like you were saying, that's what Townsend South has to do. One and done here for the Mariners on the offensive side of the ball.
And South also on offense, they're not forcing shots, something that they do a lot. They're taking their time. They're having really skilled passes. Even though North's defense might be really hot, South, they're not going to fall for any of the traps.
Backdoor cut by Porter. He lost it. Fortunate for Lofton to retain it. The 3:30 mark here, the opening quarter. Mariners 4, Indians 2. Low scoring defensive battle so far. Nice take here by Denzel Wilson. The senior going right to the bucket to tie it at 4. Roden flips it over to Petrick, who waits and draws contact on the foul, and he'll get a chance to go to the free throw line.
Smart play by number 3, Holden, to not shoot it, as Fitzpatrick came out of nowhere, almost took him out. That's a big body coming at you.
Well, yeah, Matt Fitzpatrick, your 6'1", the senior for Chandler South. Petrick gets the first one. To our first sub of the game. Coming in for the Indians, number 13, Drew Lang. Coming out there is Wilson, who just had the bucket on the other end. Second one off by Petrick, but rebound to Holland, and North will get another opportunity at it. Nobody had Roden there for a minute. Mike Husney, number 5, they're a quarterback for the football team, checking in the game. Roden going with his left hand and up and in with the right for a bucket.
And we saw this a lot last year with Roden. He'd get very comfortable coming in onto the left side of the basket and dropping it right in there. If you can force him going to the other side, we saw that he would be a lot more uncomfortable in a lot of the playoff games. Teams that would push him to the other side, he wasn't making the shots as much.
Three-pointer by Regan, no good. Fitzpatrick with a strong board. Lofton thought about it, but brings it back. Backdoor cut, wonderful play there by Porter. Great team chemistry there for Townsend South, and it earns him a nice basket.
And we see this a lot with South. A team full of seniors, and they really grew up with Coach DeFlippo. You kind of saw it with last year with East and Coach Dempsey.
Yeah, absolutely already. Now South here, a wonderful defensive play, an opportunity to take the lead here. Lofton off glass, no good. Rebound to Roden.
Well, Eddie, you mentioned the seniors of High School South. They have 11 seniors on their team heading into the season, as opposed to North 6. So, although the records may be different heading in here, South definitely has the seniority advantage.
Yeah, Neister's 3 there was off, but he ends up getting an offensive rebound and puts it up, make it 9-6 Mariners.
Before the cameras were rolling, Joe, we did see Jalen Folsom. He's number 11. We don't know if he'll come in, but talented player, definitely the future of South Indians in basketball.
Absolutely. Porter with another running layup. He scored the last 4 for the Indians, and they cut that deficit down to 1. Another offensive rebound for Petrick. And now Mike Husney will set it up here with about 1:15 to go in the first quarter. 3-pointer by Neister, and that's a dagger from the short corner, and that'll cause Coach DiFilippo to take a timeout.
Yeah, Neister missed the first time he went behind the arc. That time he makes it. And we're seeing so far for the Mariners, they aren't scoring a lot of points. On average, they score about 16.5 in the first quarter. Right now they're at 12, and they're distributing the ball a lot. We have a basket from Petrick, Roden, Neister, Holland. All of these guys are contributing so far for the Mariners, and being able to use different guys instead of having one superstar. A lot of ways that benefits your team, because that means their defense isn't going to be able to cover just one guy. They're going to have to worry about the entire 5 guys out there. So it's a great job by Caswell's team so far to be able to distribute the ball. Great chemistry, great teamwork so far in this first quarter.
And so here we sit here, 1:10 to go, opening quarter. That 3-pointer by Neister makes it a 4-point Mariner lead, 12-8. And we'll set up a press here. Like a 1-2-2 press. The Indians will have to deal with. Long pass stolen away. That's number 34, Elliot Dax. Side to Roden, lost the handle of it. North keeps possession, under a minute to go here. Husney will set it up, too high look. Roden over to Neister, can he do 2 in a row? Nope, rebound to Dax, going up with it, stripped away. Good hands there by Toms River North, or Toms River South rather. Wilson trying to get a pick and roll, pulls up, can't connect. Rebound by Porter, rushed it a bit. Neister tracks it down. 10 seconds left here, opening quarter. Husney from the far corner, a 3. Mike Husney getting in the stat book for the evening. South throws it up, it's good if it goes. Misses to the right. And so at the end of the opening quarter, it's Toms River North 15. Toms River South 8.
And like I said, for the Mariners, the way that they're able to distribute the ball offensively, they're having a nice game, but also defensively, they're racking up a lot of rebounds so far. Petrick has 2. Neister leads the team so far with 3. They're also having a lot of turnovers on the defensive side. They have 3 total steals. Like I said, the amount of rebounds that they've had so far in the first quarter has been a decent amount. And if they can capitalize on this first quarter and continue in the rest of the game, typically in the second quarter, their defense lacks a little bit, but not by too much, and their offense kind of slows down by just a point on average. So right now they're in a good place, up by 7 so far. Great game.
A few things for South that's not working out. The big one is they're letting North get some really good shots, wide open threes, and North, even though they missed a few, when you get so many shots, you're going to make some of them. At North, a very skilled 3-point team. And on offense, South, they just can't get anything going. They're making some good passes, but they're just struggling to find the open man. And for a team that generally doesn't take a lot of threes, North's doing a good job locking them down.
You're trying to finish off those plays here. Like you're saying, they're cutting the ball real well, but they just can't finish it off at the bucket.
We also haven't seen any Matt Schiffer yet, the star for South.
That one inbounded to Roden. And North will start here the second quarter with the basketball and a 7-point lead. A dangerous pass there by Husney.
If there's anybody on the Mariners that they'd want making risky passes, I'm sure it's Husney, Casey.
Inside, lost away. Here's South with a fast break. Go 3-on-2. Dipsy-do, Dunkaroo. And there you go, number 10 here, Jason Porter finishing it off. Heck of a pass there from Nike Lofton. Speaking of quarterbacks. Oh, there's a 3-pointer from straight away from Mike Neister. Way to answer it right back. Lead back up to 8, 18-10.
Right now for South, it looks like Jason Porter, he's going to be stepping up today when Matt Schiffer seemed not to be on the court.
Yeah, that one foot on the line here for Wilson. Couldn't get it to go. Roden going coast to coast. Can't finish. Wilson with the rebound. Thought about it. Whipped out to Lofton. Kind of made Husney think about where he was going. That three by Porter is long. Rebound to Carrington. Looking to run on the floor. Couple players on the floor. Ends up Roden getting it, and he goes in for a layup. 20-10 now in favor of the Mariners.
That couldn't work out any better for Roden.
Yeah, on that kind of play with both teams hustling, but North just fortunate on that one.
It created a bit of a distraction there. Roden was able to get wide open for his second bucket of the night.
So we're at the 6-minute mark here in the second quarter. Thomasville North 20, Thomasville South 10. And it looks like North's going back to that zone. Little 2-3. Wilson trying to split it. He does. Can't finish at the bucket. Good rebound underneath there by number 12, Troy Peterson, the senior. And he'll earn a trip to the free throw line.
Give credit where credit's due. This is a very clean game so far. Only 3 fouls with both teams. And this is North's first foul of the game. So both teams, they're playing clean basketball. That's always good to see.
Yeah, it's always good to see because it really, it's not like they haven't been playing defense. They've been playing really quality, stellar defense on both sides. But they're just, moving their feet, the old line of move your feet, don't put your hands down. And that's what both these teams have been doing so far tonight, Eddie. First one was good there by Peterson. We'll get another one. Looks like Roden and Carrington checked out of the game. For Thomasville North. Then we've got a little bit of a bigger lineup for the Mariners. Neister can't get the bucket to go, but he will go to the free throw line. Yeah, Joe, it looks like Thomasville North are going, like you were saying, going to a little bit of a larger lineup here. Putting Holland and Dax both in, the two forwards at the same time.
Yeah, Dax is going to be the tallest kid we're going to see out here on the court tonight at a whopping 6'7". Kind of reminds you of a player we saw last year from Mondon, senior Eric Broughton at the time. Definitely one of the little taller kids in the short conference, and that clearly benefits you as a team. Like I mentioned earlier, when they have the average height advantage, definitely as an individual it pays dividends because you look out here and you see how massive that is. That's great to cover rebounds on the inside and just in the paint. That's a huge advantage for any team.
Both free throws go there for Neister. Lead up to 11, 22-11. Lang with the ball inside of that press. Flips it over to Wilson, who will set it up. Trying to take Neister. Over to Lofton. Back to him in the corner. And that time he did travel. Defense came out. Thought he put a pump fake on. You got to put the ball on the floor. And he was unable to do that. You look at what Thomasville South's really trying to do tonight. The first time they would win here at Thomasville North since 2010. I mean, in a rivalry, that's astounding to think that it's been that long.
Well, when you look at the dominance of North athletics throughout the years in any sport,
Three-point play right there here for Holland.
And when you have plays like that going on, no wonder North keeps winning every year.
Right, you are, Eddie, whether it's on the hardwood or out on the gridiron on the football field. This is a championship atmosphere here at High School North, especially here in the Pine Belt Arena. So while it may seem shocking to anybody else, if you're a true fan of Thomasville High School sports, it's not that big of a deal, or not that big of a shock, I should say, knowing that North has had such a huge home field advantage.
We had the slap of the backboard there from Holland, but the layup is good there for number 21, Andre Knowles. Another three-pointer by Mike Neister.
Neister making it look easy out there.
Yeah, Neister's 3 for 5 so far from behind the arc. nice 60% mark. That's definitely what your coach wants to see with 4:28 left in the half. Definitely the biggest contributor so far offensively and defensively. He also leads the team with 4 rebounds.
And if you're South, you're getting a little nervous right now. Score 27-13, and South, they haven't ever won a game yet this season when trailing going into the third quarter, but they are 4-1 if they're leading. So if they can get up in the scoreboards and they can start to get into the lead entering the third quarter, it's going to be looking good for them.
Well, they were down by 7 at the end of the first. Now they've kind of doubled that, already down by 14. So they have to kind of work their way back in. Question is, how are they going to do that? You know, they've had some success getting to the basket. They just haven't finished. And they have a couple of good three-point shooters on their team. So you have to wonder what Coach Kurt DiFilippo drew up in that timeout.
What Coach needs to do is be able to help his team improve on both sides of the ball. We've been seeing a lot from North, a lot of 2-3 zone defense, and so far it's been working perfectly. They've been shutting the Indians out so far offensively.
You had foul on number 15, Sean O'Donnell. A little too much pressure on that one. That ball tipped by Holland, and now North's going to steal a possession here. Over to Neister, who thought about it. Now he's going to fire it, and he connects again. 4 for 6 on the evening. (30-13), and a timeout is granted to Toms River South at the 4:07 mark here in the second quarter.
That was an excellent job by Travis Holland there. He was able to create pressure for the Indians. They weren't able to get rid of the ball, cost them a timeout. Great gutsy call there by Coach Caswell, and playing aggressive here. Not something you would really be seeing with so much time left on the clock, but hey, if it works, why stop?
Yeah, you look at these two teams here. You know, Toms River South, they started 2-2. They've lost 4 of the last 6. They haven't won a road game yet this year. But for Toms River North here, they're 12-1. They're perfect in A South. Currently up a half game in the standings over Central. They beat Central last week on the road here. We're going to do that game later on in the season when Central comes here in what could very well be the Class A South championship game. That's an interesting call because it looked like it might have gone off of Lofton's side there, and both officials looked at each other. Neither one really had a good angle at it.
And I was waiting for Coach Caswell to start shouting. It's a good thing we're on the other side of the court this year. He might be picking up.
And that one, there's Wilson on the floor, flips it over to Regan. He's got to get it over. And he does. Hands it off to Wilson. Trying to run the old Georgetown Princeton offense there. You know, you kind of dribble towards somebody and then they have a back cut. Try to beat the defense in back of them. So far, North staying very disciplined. Good inside bucket there by Denzel Wilson.
That's his first points of the half.
Holland driving baseline, flips it across court. That one is almost stolen away. Roden comes down with it, goes through, splits through 2 or 3 defenders, and finishes at the bucket. 32-15 now, Mariners. 3-minute mark here in the opening half. That one, long pass into the front row. Coach Kurt DiFilippo is going to go to his bench yet again. Another new player coming in, Austin Williams, number 4, 5'11" guard.
Being able to have that versatility definitely helps your team, but at this point in the game, you got to say Coach DiFilippo is definitely pulling out all the stops, going to the guys deeper in the bench that he doesn't primarily turn to. seeing if he can find an answer down there on the sidelines.
I want to foul there on Toms River South. They get just their 4th of the half.
And a fun fact about Austin Williams, he actually went to Toms River East his freshman year and then transferred out to South sophomore year and going forward.
Husney inbounding it. Tried to get it to Petrick. Back to the inbounder. Husney. Yeah, finished rebound to Fitzpatrick. There's the freshman Folsom. 5'10" guard. Like you were saying, Eddie, we saw him during the JV game. One of the future stars here for the Indians. Regan double team coming from the backside. There's Petrick. Got to watch a trap here. Fitzpatrick driving in, can't finish. And that one will go out of bounds off of Toms River South.
And plays like that are plays that South are going to have to make if they're going to want to come back in the scoreboard. As that was a fairly easy layup for Fitzpatrick. And going forward, South's going to have to make these plays.
Yeah, Eddie, it seemed as though on that play he didn't put enough arc on it. It seemed as if he put too much pressure and pushed it right up against the backboard and just put too much on it.
Inside their Dax here. Deep here, Regan guarding him. And he gets fouled. Go to the free throw line. Just inside of 2 minutes to go.
This already Mariners' 3rd trip to the line in this half.
Looks like Porter's going to come back in for Toms River South. And it'll be Carrington coming in for Toms River North. As well as number 15, Sean O'Donnell. So Petrick and Roden will get a breather there for the Mariners. Looks like Regan here is going to get a break there for Toms River South. Board going to Porter, who just checked in the game. Olsen will set it up for Toms River South. That one right at the knees of Wilson. It goes out of bounds. Another turnover there by Toms River South. Husney will set it up. $1:40 to go in the opening half. Carrington guarded tightly by Porter. They switch on defense. Good fake. Going to set up Mariners to play.
Guys, you see they're playing extremely conservative right now. You know they have a comfortable lead. They're trying to get the clock down, head to halftime a lot sooner. They're not really in a rush to put more points on the board and really blow this one out in the first half. 32-15, there's a little over a minute left. It's a pretty good place to be right now for the Mariners.
And the fact that South, they don't want to hear right now, North, they've only gone into the second half trailing once, and they won the game, and they've only gone tied once. Every other game, they're 10 for 1, leading. So that's the number that South they don't want to hear.
Yeah, especially when you looked at, like you were saying, at 0-5 here. When trailing at the half. Right now they're down by 17. North, they crossed the 1 minute mark remaining. They're holding the ball, using as much clock as they can, trying to get South tired out here. Rebound to O'Donnell, and a nice heads-up play there by Folsom to get in the passing lane, knocks it out of bounds.
And Folsom just couldn't get his hands on it. He had his fingertips on it, just couldn't get it down. He had a few more inches on him.
He only got that one hand up here, right?
Give him
2.
Give him a year or two and grow a little bit more. North is going to be scared of him.
Neister can't leave him open. That one fortunate for Toms River South. One that Neister didn't hit the 3 because he was wide open. And second, that there's a foul call on Towns River North, their fourth of the half. Indians have 16 fouls, so the next foul will send North to the free throw line.
It feels as though we were just saying how clean of a game this was just about 5-6 minutes ago. Now you have 10 total fouls between the two teams. Got to wonder what's going on now. Playing sloppy defense, sloppier play overall from both teams.
The old 60s songs, the times they are a-changing here, I guess. Roden with 20 seconds, bringing it across the date line. Nice pass and give and go with Roden. Can't finish it, but he will go to the free throw line.
And you saw just before when South had the ball on offense, another easy layup they just couldn't land, and North taking advantage, getting a fast break, and now they're on the free throw line.
Yeah, that's what good teams do here. They kind of minimize their mistakes, and they exploit the mistakes here of the other team. And right now, Towns River North doing a lot of exploiting. Scissors roll for Roden. Up to 33-15 with 14.1 seconds to go. That time we're going to get a lane violation there against Porter, so Roden will get another try. That one no good. Porter, the irony of that, gets the rebound. Folsom coming over, almost stolen away. He's going to go in and gets a layup. Long pass up to Roden. And a nice defensive play by Towns River South. But a little bit of momentum there for the Indians going in at halftime as Folsom takes it the distance to get a layup. And midway through the game, we've got Towns River North 33, Towns River South 17. Any thoughts here before we go in the half?
So far, Towns River South, it's not that they're playing terrible basketball out there. They just can't finish anything. You see a lot. They're making great passes, and then they get the ball right under the basket, and they can't make the shot. And that's not good. On defense, they're staying with North all the way, and then North, they'll get that one pass that just it outsmarts South, and then they land the three, or they get the two right under the basket. So South, they're so close. And if they can just have everything start succeeding for them, and it's not easy, but if they can get everything landing for them, North, they better watch out.
Yeah, that's what Coach Kurt DiFilippo has been saying. They are really so close here with some of the juggling of the lineup. They are right on the edge here of being a really successful team, and it's just not showing it so far tonight.
Another thing you want to see from South is typically basketball, it's a five-man sport, but you do need that playmaker. You need the guy that leads the team. And right now, without Matt Schiffer on the court, they don't really have that playmaker. They don't have that top guy. And you want to see who's going to step up. You saw Porter stepping up in the first half, but he kind of fell out in the second half. You might see Folsom, possibly, the freshman, come up clutch.
Yep.
Well, Eddie, I know you just mentioned how the Indians need to let it fall a bit more. That's been one of the few things that have been going well so far for the Mariners. They've had 6 3-pointers so far tonight, just over their total game average of 5.6. We're only halfway through this game. Mike Neister is tearing it up offensively, defensively. He's leading the team with 16 total points. He has 4 rebounds and a steal to his credit. So right now, he is that Matt Schiffer for the Mariners. He's their MVP so far. You also have other guys like Holden Petra contributing. He has 3 points and a couple of rebounds. 7 points for Roden with 3 rebounds of his own. So you have all of these guys, like I've mentioned many times so far in just this first half, they're able to distribute the ball well and give it to different guys, and it's creating tons of mismatches for the Indians. They don't know who to cover. They're not sure at any point who's going to be that star. So far it's been Mike Neister. Who's he going to be for the second half? We're just going to have to wait and find out.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and find out. We'll be right back here on TR Schools TV with the second half right after this break. All right, folks, welcome back to the TR Schools TV Game of the Week, presented by the TRA, Casey Kinderkowski, Joey Del Deo, and Eddie Wolf. We've got the Indians and the Mariners And so far tonight here, it's been a lot of Mike Neister, three-point shooting for the Mariners, accounting for a 33-17 lead for the home team.
Yeah, you mentioned Mike Neister. Considering he has almost a little bit under half of his team's total points, you can honestly say he's been having a nice night so far. 16 points, 4 rebounds, just offensively, defensively, he's been the juggernaut and he's been the glue that's holding this Mariners team together. And he's been pretty strong glue at that.
And as for South, they haven't had anybody like a Neister that's been helping lead the team. That's something that you're going to want to see who's going to step up for them going into this third and fourth quarter.
And North will start with the basketball here in the third quarter, as Neister inbounds it to Carrington, and then gets it right back. Petrick driving in, flips it off there to Holland, who cannot finish, and will get a foul there on Roden. So a good start here defensively for the Indians.
Yeah, as you're saying that, you saw Petrick almost lost the ball, almost went out of bounds, and would have been not the best way that you can start off the half, regardless of how much you're up by. And a good job there by Neister to be able to retain possession. Although he didn't make the basket, possession went over to the Indians. It was still a nice heads-up play.
The what might be North's greatest strength is their speed and endurance that a lot of teams can't keep up with. And you saw in the first half, South, they had struggles keeping up. Early on they were able to, but they got tired out. And North, they just keep coming at you.
Yeah, right there, tenacious defense here, especially on the ball. South, good fake there by Regan. He got Holland up in the air and then an easy layup. Cuts the deficit down to 14. Neister from straight away. Cannot leave him open. He buries another one. 36-19 in favor of the Mariners.
I've got to be honest with you, it sounded like the basketball didn't even go in the net. It was just so smooth. But it just, nothing but net, honestly, on that play. It was just fantastic.
He must practice here.
You think, Casey? I don't know. I think that might just be a natural skill.
There we go. Lofton's going to set it up at the top. Flips it over to Wilson, who was left unattended for a little while, and he goes in with the left hand. A nice reverse layup there by Jaden Roden. And again, you cannot fall asleep on this North team because they will make you pay on the fast break, and right there you see it.
South missed the alarm on that one. They overslept definitely on that play. You saw that it seemed as though they left Roden wide open. No one was really paying attention to him. It was a great heads-up play by the Mariners able to get the ball down to him and score as quickly as possible. But like you said, South, you can't be sleeping on plays like that, especially when you're down by 17 with plenty of time left. It's also plenty of time for the Mariners to just completely go off and go on a scoring rampage like they've done in the first half. So got to play more aggressive defense and more aggressive offense if you're the Indians.
Yeah, full time out there by Coach Kurt DiFilippo. The 6:14 mark here, the third quarter. And Andy, it's kind of what you've been echoing all day, where the Indians will play really solid defense. They'll get a couple buckets, but then there's always that one kind of head knocker kind of play.
Yeah, and they'll get their momentum slightly getting built up, and they'll all go downhill. And North, they take advantage of this, and they just keep coming at you. And you just saw that right there with a great play by Roden, and that really took a lot of the momentum away from South.
Yeah, forced them to take a timeout there to kind of regroup, recharge. Let's see what they come up with out of the timeout. North is certainly not backing down. They're going with the full court pressure really ever since the middle of the first quarter. Wilson over to Lofton. Lofton going to launch it. Short. Gets his own rebound. Goes in. Left hand. Can't get it to go. Rebound to Roden, who lost it. Nice hustle play there by Lofton. But he can't save it. And the ball will go over to Towns of the North. You have to appreciate the hustle play there by Wilson. Always good to see that from an athlete. Petrick driving in, tried to flip it up. Goes out of bounds, will stay with Townsville North.
Good play by Porter getting his hands up on that. Good heads up play.
Nice play. Saw a heads up play here by Petrick. Looked down, found the ball right for his taking, and he took it and put it in the bucket. 40-21 now, Townsville North. Double team pressure here at midcourt. Stolen away by Townsville North. Roden on the fast break up to Carrington, who finishes with the left hand. And the Mariners doubling up the Indians right now, 42-21.
And there's that left-hander Roden. South, they really need to try to force him to use his right hand, his less dominant one.
And that one, Wilson. Through.
They had about 11 total fouls between both teams. That's unacceptable regardless of if you have the lead or not. And so far, with 3:52 left in the third quarter, it's been clean so far. Just two total fouls, both by the Mariners.
And Troy Peterson 1 for 1 today. Now 1 for 2. And Joey, also, you mentioned how this game has been pretty clean. I also mentioned how there was only 2 fouls total before, and all of a sudden you had a bunch of fouls racking up, so hopefully you don't jinx this game like I did.
We'll just have to wait and see, Edward.
Indeed we will.
Second one no good by Peterson, so the score stays 42-21. It's Neister's three. Finally, one of them doesn't go in. Rebound of Townsville South, and Regan brings it across. Picks up his dribble. He flips it over there to number 1, Armani Velasquez, who just checked in the game on that Peterson free throw opportunity. Peterson off glass. Nice job there over O'Donnell. Nice backdoor cut by Petrick. Be a foul underneath there on Vasquez. First team foul there for the Indians in this third quarter. Husney inbounded against the 2-3 zone. Petrick pulls up with a jumper that's short. Rebound to Peterson. A little on-ball pressure coming from the backside. Nice job. Floater by Porter is short. Husney will bring it across inside of 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Look like hands like glue there for Roden. Oh, it was going to go way over his head.
What makes him a star wide receiver too, Casey?
Petrick gets a shooter's roll from straight away. Holden Petrick, his brother's Hunter. Holden Petrick with the three-pointer.
Bit of a tongue twister there, Casey.
Peterson's jumper short, rebound to Roden. 47-23 Mariners looking to add to it. Right there, O'Donnell traveled with it. Rare turnover for the Mariners. We'll get some subs coming back in. Carrington coming back in. Looks like Petrick and Neister will take a seat on the bench for a little while. Nice trap. And we're going to get a timeout here for Toms River South. The one remaining after this one.
So far, it's been a well-fought quarter. Going back to the first quarter where it wasn't much offense in the beginning, and then the defense started slacking a little bit, and then offense was, gaining up throughout the game. So far in this quarter, it's been all defense. Not a lot of scoring. We're seeing a lot of double-team pressure from the Mariners, which you would rather see, or you'd more likely see from the Indians. When you're down, you'd want to create more pressure and play less conservative. We're seeing that from the Mariners, who have a huge lead right now with about 2 minutes left in the third quarter. It's a bold strategy, but so far it's working.
So far it's working. And Eddie, when you take a look at it, the Indians are playing much better here in this third quarter than they played here in the second quarter, but they're still trailing 14-6 here in the third.
And you say that they're playing much better, but they're playing much better on defense.
Right.
Offense, they're not really doing much, and that's why the scoreboard really hasn't changed. They only have 6 points.
Yeah, every time they take a step forward, they take 2 back here because they can't answer those runs by Toms River North.
You cut 1 head off, 2 more grow.
How many metaphors and analogies can we get into a broadcast?
Too many.
We have 9 minutes, 56 seconds to find out, Casey.
Now, we don't have Jarrett tonight, so maybe not as many as we regularly would.
I want a rear foul here for Toms River North. Indians with under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, 2-3 matchup zone. Got to attack it. Yeah, there you go. Get in the middle. Three-pointer by Vasquez. Armani Vasquez, number 1, with a 3.
The first 3 tonight by South.
Good defensive play there, Eddie. See if they can back it up here offensively. We got a real fast break going here. Wilson sidesteps. Can't get the bucket to go. And wisely they'll get into the hands of Husney. Kind of slow it down a bit. Roden going to the bucket. Reverse layup up and in. He shows off his athleticism.
Almost a carbon copy play from a little bit earlier.
Lang wide open under the basket. Just couldn't finish it. Thank him. It's a foul here in the backcourt with 47 seconds to go.
A play like that is what I've been talking about all day for South. They do everything perfect, and they just can't execute it. And you saw Lang right there. A basket he should have hit.
Oh, yeah, and sometimes you just get a lot of pressure, especially when you've seen Toms River North here attacking the basketballs they have here in this game. You just get a little nervous here in the varsity game. Certainly no one immune to that. Carrington inside there to Dax. Good double team by South, but they're going to get Wilson on the foul.
Yeah, that was a risky pass there by Carrington, throwing it into triple coverage. Although Dax has the height advantage, it's still risky when you have 3 maroon jerseys on 1 white. And luckily for the Mariners, the Indians committed a foul, and momentum will stay on their side.
Three-pointer by Petrick, no good. Peterson comes down with the rebound. And this time I think they're going to get Dax, number 34, on it.
And North, the three-point team, they're not hitting as many three-pointers as they have in the first and second quarters, something that one reason this scoreboard isn't as high as it was compared to the first and second quarters. They're not hitting those threes.
Yeah, the Mariners so far just 2 for 6 from three-point range. Just huge deficit from the first half.
Stolen away by Holland right in front of us. And that press allows North to steal the ball away and convert offensively as they go across 50 points for the evening, 51-26. 10 seconds to go, third quarter. Long pass up to Peterson, stripped away by Neister, but his foot was on the line, so it will stay with Toms River South. 5.3 to go in the quarter. We saw South get a bucket at the end of the second quarter. Can they do the same here at the end of the third?
You got to believe, although it would be a nice little confidence boost for the Indians, it won't do much for the total scoreboard. Down 51-26 with time running out.
That inbound gets it into 5. Jake Regan, who gets fouled. He'll go to the free throw line.
The first South Indian to be shooting at the free throw line that's not named Troy Peterson.
Yeah, they average here about 7 free throws made per game. Only got on the line, what is it, 4 times already?
4 times, and they've only made 1 shot.
And you know, I hate to admit it, but Eddie, you might have been right earlier in this quarter. Just 2 total fouls about 4 or 5 minutes ago. Now in the blink of an eye, there's 8 total, 5 for the Mariners, 3 for the Indians. And I know, I'm waiting for you to start gloating. Just go ahead.
Man, I can't wait until I can just keep replaying you say, Eddie, I think you're right.
That one tipped up like a volleyball drill by Lang. Petra can't get it to go on the backside. But a nice way to finish the quarter for the Indians. But like you were saying, Joey, it is still Toms River North 51 and Toms River South 28. Not much hope here for the Indians. They need a big comeback here.
The silver lining for Toms River South is that North's defense gives up 12.1 points per quarter when it comes to the fourth quarter. That's their highest amount given up throughout an entire game on average so far this season. So even with 12 points, that would only put their total up to 40, still down by a huge amount. So we're going to have to see a miracle-like quarter here for the Indians, if that's even enough.
And for South Indians, you never like going into the fourth quarter trailing by so much. Score 51-28, North obviously in the lead. But for South, what they're going to have to do is they're just going to have to keep fighting. Don't give up. Show their competitiveness. Also, you might want to try some plays that they've never tried before. So something that you could do. Try to maybe get some easy points.
You know, Eddie, you took the words right out of my mouth. You can't head into this fourth quarter, regardless of the score, with your heads down already, waving the white flag. That's just what North would want you to do, and North would definitely capitalize on a lackluster defensive showing in this fourth quarter. You got to keep your heads held high, like you said. Maybe try some new things. Maybe go to some different guys on the bench. Try some new plays. See what Kurt Filippo has up his sleeve.
Oh, a nice passing inside, and Porter finishes it. The Indians get to 30 points.
Now, Joey, what does South have to do to take advantage of North? What's North's big Achilles heel?
North's big Achilles heel, Eddie, is the amount of fouls that they've had so far tonight. 5 already, and we're just getting into the fourth quarter. They can force a couple fouls offensively, defensively for the Mariners, take a decent amount of trips to the line. That would definitely benefit them in the long run.
That one a jumper as Neister steps inside the arc now. Makes it 53-30.
Yeah.
Toms River South.
Neister had 16 total points in the first half. So far in the second half, that was just his 5th point scored. So although his total is a nice amount at 21, it's a big deficit from the first half to the second half. They're using him more limited. They're trying to spread the ball out like they've been doing so much so far tonight. They're trying to do it even more, trying to get away from that one superstar game plan using just Neister.
Porter thought about the 3. Probably should have taken as he travels with it.
And South, they're not taking threes. They only have 1 3 attempt this entire game. That's something that you want to see them take more opportunities. Obviously, I said in the beginning, they don't want to waste these opportunities on offense. But at this point, it's not wasting it if you can make a really well-shot three.
The ball was deflected out of bounds. It will stay with Toms River North. 1 minute gone by here, the final quarter. Toms River North 53, Toms River South 30.
Now, Joey, another question for you about North. How does North treat this quarter?
Well, when you're heading in, you have a little under 7 minutes left and you have a 23-point cushion. You got to believe they're not going to come out firing on all cylinders here. You can rest your starters, maybe go to the bench more, play a lot more conservative. Barring some, like I said, miracle by the Indians, this game is well out of reach. Like I said, play more conservative, maybe tone it down, maybe start resting your guys up and get ready for your next game.
We'll see South here. South's trying to find a lineup so far, one that can work for him. Knowles drops it off to Porter, who gets fouled. He'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, like I said just moments ago, Eddie, what the Indians need to do is take more trips to the line. So far, it's another foul for the Mariners, moving up their total to 6. So it's working so far, that game plan.
Well, one of South's Achilles' heels is making these free throw attempts. Right now, they're only 1 for 6 on the night, team total.
Porter looks to change that. He can't so far. Get another opportunity, though. And it looks like every single foul committed by the Mariners the rest of the way, the Indians will go to the free throw line. Either 1 and 1 or 2 shots. And Porter connects on the second one. Make it 53-31. Get a little full court pressure. Broken quickly there by Carrington. That will be a foul against Toms River South.
And Joe, you mentioned North take it a little easier. So far, they're not doing that. They're going for South's neck in this game.
Well, you know, whenever you see North against South on any schedule, regardless of the sport, you know it's going to be a hard-fought match. Coach Caswell obviously wants to stick it to the in-town rivals here. They've done it through 3+ quarters so far tonight, and it seems as though they're not ready to give up just yet.
Yeah, good ball pressure, though, by Toms River South. Made it a little difficult for North here. Neister's 3, no good. Rebound of Regan. A backcourt foul against Petrick. Send Regan in the line to shoot 1 and 1.
And that was Neister's 3rd 3-point opportunity so far tonight in the second half, and he's only hit 1. So like his overall scoring, the amount of threes that he's hitting, the amount of attempts he's getting as well, greatly minimizing.
Yeah, he's kind of slowing down a bit the production. And like you were saying, Joey, earlier, this is one of the easy ways for the Indians to get points without time running off the clock, is to get to the free throw line. Regan hits the first one.
Regan now 1 for 3 on the night.
Petrick checking out. O'Donnell coming in, number 15. Second one in and out. Rebound to Porter. South an opportunity to steal a couple points here. That one no good. Batted around. Knowles tracks it down. Let's see what South can do here. Porter thought about the 3, drives baseline. Had nowhere to flip it to. Goes out of bounds, stays with Toms River South though.
And South, you see, they take the ball under the basket a lot, and then they try to pass it out, and it has been working all night. That's something that you may want to see going forward in the practices, that they might want to work on this play, as it really isn't working.
Yeah, I know we said for this fourth quarter, what can the Indians do? One of the things we mentioned was heading to the bench more, trying to find new players, new ideas for this fourth quarter. Well, number 22 out there on the court is one of those ideas, senior Dan Garral. This is his first playing time so far tonight, the senior forward.
Yep, and Andre Knowles, the junior 6'3" forward for the Indians, goes to the free throw line. He got fouled on that one. Hits the first one. Elliott Dax coming back in. He'll come in for Jaden Roden. And Roden's had a really productive night as well.
Roden, he's one of the better players in North. He's a true athlete.
Yeah, Casey, you mentioned Jaden Roden, and it wasn't just offensively, but defensively as well. His game tonight was well-rounded. So far, 10 points total. He also leads the team with 8 rebounds and picked up a couple of steals. So offensively, defensively, in the paint, anywhere on the court, superstar game by Jaden Roden.
That one, Holland driving to the free throw line and launching.
This will be Holland's first trip to the line tonight for the Mariners.
Yeah, good coaching moment there from Coach Caswell. Even though his team's up by 20, looks to have the game in hand here. Obviously, when your team like Thompson North, and you kind of can see they're going to be one of the top teams in the short conference tournament, a high seed in the state playoffs. So they're going to want to get complacent even at the end of these games. Dax goes 1 for 2. 54-33 in favor of the home team. 5:15 to go, final quarter. South handling the pressure really well. Regan sets it up over to Porter. Backdoor cut, pulls up Regan. Can't get it to go. Meister with the rebound. Eyes up, looking to run. Over to Carrington. Dax thought about it. Wisely, North will bring it out and set it up. O'Donnell forcing a pass there. May have gotten bailed out by Regan.
And other than that pass at the end of the drive, that was that conservative play I mentioned earlier. They're up by 21 points, and you don't need to be playing aggressive. I know we saw that Coach Caswell was still sticking with that aggressive mindset. You don't need it this late in the game. And right here, we've been seeing they're passing the ball around a lot more, creating more chemistry, mismatches against the Indians, and taking time off the clock, playing conservative, something that they can do up by this much with little time left.
Yeah, that one foul against Salvador South, and Carrington will go to the free throw line, as we'll see. Williams check back in for Regan. 4:22 mark, Thompson for South. That one long, rebound out to Wilson. Foul on Thompson North. He said Wilson to the free throw line.
So this will be Wilson's first shot at the free throw line tonight.
Can't get it to go. Meister with the board. Flips it over to Petrick. Bad exchange. Batted up in the air. Now a 2-on-1 opportunity with Porter. Porter drives in. He's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line.
Porter's 1 for 2 on the night. And South overall, they're 4 for 13 on the night.
Yep, 10-team foul here for the Mariners, so Eddie, they're going to be shooting the rest of the way. Any fouls there on Thompson North, and we'll get 2 shots. Porter in and out. You know, it's one of those things here, the what-if kind of scenarios. You know, what if Thompson South were able to convert a little bit more at the free throw line? Maybe have to be a little closer. Right now, they might be within striking distance.
Another what if you need to mention, Casey. What if Matt Schiffer was here tonight?
Right.
He's their MVP of this team so far this season. For reasons unknown to us, he wasn't out here tonight. He wasn't out on the sideline with the team. Definitely could have contributed in a huge way for the Indians and could have changed this game up completely.
Yeah, 54-34, and a timeout by Coach Caswell. They're at the 3:40 mark of the third quarter. And, you know, when you look at these two teams here, you know, you kind of peek ahead. The next game for Towns River South, they're going to play at Towns River East on Monday. And then they'll play Jackson, and then they have a showcase game here next Saturday against North Brunswick. For Towns River North here, they're going to play down at Central here in a showcase game on Saturday against Woodbridge. Then they get to travel down the Parkway to play at Southern, and then we'll have their game here at the Pine Belt Arena when they play Towns River East. Here, Coach Dempsey's squad here obviously having a rough year, but really playing a lot of young players, getting experience at the varsity level.
Towns River East, they had a very sad injury to Phil Lingat before the season even started, over the summer actually, and how the surgery worked, he wasn't able to play this year, so that's something that really didn't help the team.
Yeah, we saw last year with the Raiders, their boys basketball team, definitely one of the best in the short conference, but Phil Lingat, as a junior at the time, still rose above all the seniors, the Bailey Engelhards, his brother Carlos Lingat, Pat Saunders. All those guys were key contributors, but Phil rose above all that, was undoubtedly the team's MVP last year, would have been again this year, but sadly, like Eddie mentioned, the injury to him. Well wishes to Phil Lingat.
Absolutely. Drive by Nystrom, and he gets fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. We saw that game last year. You're talking about Donovan Catholic. We were doing that short conference game where Donovan Catholic and East were playing. And that was a really quality matchup. And that was kind of a preview of things to come. We were even talking with Coach Dempsey. He was saying, hey, you know, Phil's going to be the guy who we're going to build our offense around. And they've struggled so far this season offensively because he's not there.
But when you have that guy that you plan to build your offense around in the offseason and preparing preseason-wise to build around a certain player, and then a player is injured and can't perform for the season, you're kind of lost. You have to scramble the puzzle pieces together and hope to make it work. So far for the Raiders, with their record, 2-8 overall, they haven't been able to find the missing piece of the puzzle, but they still have plenty of time to put it together and salvage what they have left of this season.
Absolutely. Their Nystrom here got those two. It's 56-34. He subs out of the game Colin Baker, the freshman, 6'2" guard coming in for him.
That's something that South's going to have to be able to do, unlike East, is they're going to want to try to be able to manage not losing all your seniors, because East did that, and you also had Phil Lingat out. So South, a team that's so heavy on seniors, you're really going to want them to be able to rebound next year.
And Eddie, last season for the Raiders, like you say, with the combination of seniors and Phil, that was their starting five right there. They didn't have any underclassmen not on the bench heading into the season, so it was a new experience. It was the guys who did have experience at the varsity level, but not a lot of starting experience at the varsity level. So for guys to step up in a big way and take on much bigger roles than they've been used to throughout their high school careers, it's a huge step, especially if you're coming from JV and you're forced to move up to a varsity role to accommodate for injuries. So far, like I said, hasn't been working too well, but they still got time.
Yeah, they still have time, and you know they're always building for next year as well. And that's what you're seeing here with Towns River North, as they have subbed out a lot of their key players, putting in a lot of the JV players now. We're taking a look at the lineups here. Mike Clarella, number 1, is in there. We got number 20 here, Colin Baker. Number 22, Ryan Schlosser, is in there. Nick Dunchak, number 42, is in there. And number 44, freshman Najee Hollenbeck. Your 5 here for Towns River North, as Lang at the free throw line misses the first one.
And you're looking at it right here, the future starting 5 for the North Mariners. A lot of freshmen, sophomores, those underclassmen, like I said, that East needed to do, transition them from JV to varsity. This is their chance right here, and it's a nice opportunity for them. They're getting their first taste of the Civil War rivalry.
That one, good hands play by Porter. Aren't you glad we got a little protection over here?
Very close to getting ourselves a nice souvenir.
Jared, pregame, your head almost was taken off by a basketball.
That's why you always have to have your head on a swivel around here.
Would have been either me or our wonderful sound guy over there to our right, Mr. Ben Campbell.
Joey showed that Italian slap, though. Knocked the ball away.
All right, then, back to the action here. Number 42, Nick Dunshak, is going to the free throw line. 2:36 to go here in the game. And he hits the first one. Second one true as well. 58-34. Drew Lang coming up with the ball over the half-court line. Lang, Porter, Knowles, Williams, and number 22, Goralla, the 5 here for Toms River South. We'll get a travel there on Porter. And now we're going to see more subs here by Toms River North. Dunsack will come out. Schlosser out as well. Looks like number 24, Fiend, Dylan Fiend here, sophomore, coming in the game. Fagan. Dylan Fagan there, correction on that one. And a foul there on Toms River South, right at 2 minutes to go in the game. Jay Hollenbeck going to the free throw line.
And for a bigger man, he was landing a lot of his free throw shots in the JV game.
Yes, he was there, Eddie.
So we'll have to see how this can go into the varsity game there with the big boys. Major call-up.
Yeah, it was a good JV game between the Indians and the Mariners. The Indians coaching staff there in that JV game, a little contentious call at the end. But the Mariners held on in that one. Win by 2. And a technical foul here against Toms River South, against the coach. Be 2 shots here for Najee. And he hits the first one. You know, sometimes, fellas, you just have to wonder. You know, a coach may say something in jest, and you know, an official may take it the wrong way. And I think that was kind of what happened there, because it didn't look like he was going crazy on the sideline.
You just got to remember, the refs are people too. They have feelings, and you know, the coaches may have gotten out of hand there. He might not have been screaming, but like you said, may have said something the refs didn't like.
Right now, Baker's on the line to shoot 2. And so now North's going to get the ball. So it looked like Allen back there was finishing off his free throws, and then Baker took the technical foul. So now we've got the score up to 62-34, Toms River North. Under 2 minutes remaining. Fagan gets fouled there by number 4, Austin Williams. He'll go to the free throw line.
The game's slowing down tremendously. This was going to be a really quick game. Then these last 4 minutes, time can't go any slower.
Yeah, Gabe Camino, number 21, and Mike Centino, number 40. 2 guys that came in for North. As Baker checks out, Schlosser coming back in. So the whole roster, all 16 members, Toms River North getting in this game. Very rare to see that, even in a blowout. 3-pointer by Lang, no good. Rebound out to Hollenbach. And the big fella got to bring it across. Look at that. That's wonderful. All the forwards everywhere in America loving that. Camino trying to drive with the ball. We get an offensive foul on the push-off.
You mentioned that all 16 members of the Mariners were contributing. Those bench guys, those freshmen, those sophomores, they're starting to contribute. Colin Baker has, he's 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Dylan Fagan's 1 for 2. Nick Dunsack's 2 for 2 rather, and Najee Hollenbeck is 2 for 2. So those guys putting points on the board, showing their coach what he gets to expect for the future, and so far the future looks bright.
The future looks bright. You know, for Toms River South, too, you never know here. From one season to the next, we're talking about Toms River East. What they were expecting their season to be turned out to be something completely different. So it could be the same thing for Toms River South going forward. We got a foul there against South. Dunchak will go to the free throw line with 52.5 seconds remaining. And if you look at what Toms River North's going to do tonight, not only are they going to improve to 13-1 on the season and stay perfect in A South, they will win their 25th consecutive Class A South game. 25 in a row as Dunsack gets the first. Misses the second, so it stays at a 30-point game, 64-34. Moving screen there against Toms River South. Almost thrown away in the backcourt. Fortunate to get it there. Stolen away by Porter on the fast break. He's going to go in. He's fouled hard by Schlosser. He'll go to the free throw line.
You see Mariners flying all over the place here. You got Dylan Fagan on the floor. Another Mariner up under the net, smacking against the mat there. So you got to believe the energy going from playing a full JV game, now playing in a varsity game. Got to believe they're not as strong as they were heading into the first game tonight. Limbs are a little loosey-goosey down there.
Loosey-goosey, wow.
Well, I heard Dipsy Dunkaroo from you earlier.
Dipsy Dunkaroo, a little Dickie V there. Big Vital.
And you guys get mad when I make stupid names and stupid jokes.
We're just from a different era there, Eddie. We're just from a different era. 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Go to the Indians there, so it's 64-35. Calella with the ball here, 25 seconds remaining. And they should just go to the old weave play and hand the ball off here. Got to retain possession. No, Schlosser wants to get in the stop book. And he'll go to the free throw line with 15 seconds left.
Casey, for a lot of these players, this is their chance to get their first ever varsity points.
Yeah.
They want to take this opportunity and have some fun with it.
And they want to see, obviously, the coaches, especially the assistants, are looking at this. You know, they're the JV freshman coaches. They want to see what these players have, what they have to offer for the future. And Schlosser, obviously, one of those players.
These 4 minutes, it was tryouts for a lot of these players.
Well, because as you go from freshman year to JV up to varsity year, the number of spots on the team here decreases. And so you want to show your best effort anytime you can get into a varsity game. Porter passing it out. That jumper is short. Rebound is good by Lang, and that'll be the final bucket of the game. Won't change much of the outcome, but it will make the Indians feel a little bit better. Even though here Toms River North in control of this one almost from the start, as they improve to 13-1, stay perfect in A South by beating their crosstown rivals, the Indians at Toms River South 64-37.
Toms River North overall dominated from start to finish, whether it be offensively, defensively. They put on a show here for their home crowd, especially Mike Neister, ending the night with 21 total points, 5 rebounds, and a steal. You also have to give credit to Jaden Roden, who had 11 total points, a couple of steals, and led the team with 8 rebounds. Overall, offensively, defensively, whether it be from the starters, the bench players, the JV squad for the Mariners, they all came to play tonight, and they all proved that they are worthy of showing up next week. And hey, if Coach Caswell wants to play all 16 at any other point throughout the season, these guys have proved to him that they can take on the challenge. Excellent job overall by the Mariners.
And we mentioned it quite a few times. North, they just outperformed Toms River South. Something that we hear a lot. Toms River North, outperforming team. Never heard that one before. But for South, the real thing is they played well. It's just they didn't play well enough. They couldn't finish a lot of their plays. They had some shots they shouldn't have made. They had some passes that they shouldn't have made. They left some people open that they shouldn't have left open. But overall, they had some really good plays.
Yeah.
It's just they couldn't execute them. And that's what you're going to have to see in the practice. Execution of your plays. And if South can execute their plays on offense and defense, they could be a really good team.
Yeah, absolutely. And the good news is for Coach T. Filippo's bunch, all things that, like you said, they can work on, they can improve on, and make better. They're going to end up playing at Toms River East next week in a big rivalry game, yet again, back-to-back. For Toms River North, they're going to play in that showcase game down at Central against Woodbridge. They travel to Southern, and then we'll see them next week right here on TR Schools TV against Toms River East. These two teams, though, will play each other again on Saturday, February 11th, down at Toms River South. Next week here on the TR Schools TV Game of the Week, we're going to head downtown on Monday here for a girls basketball showdown between Kevin Cohen's Lady Raiders and Sarah Paterzo's Lady Indians. But again, your final score here tonight from the Pine Bell Arena, Toms River North 64, Toms River South 37. For our producer Chip Phillips, Joey Del Deo, and Eddie Wolf, and our entire crew here at TR Schools TV, I'm Casey Kennerkowski saying so long and good night.